This is Brian Kelly with Missouri Wrestling Revival, and we got a special treat here today. We are joined with Kevin Von Erich.
Glad to be here, Brian.
Well, thank you so much. Kevin, whenever wrestling fans think of the Von Erichs, they think of two things. They think of wrestling and Texas. But what many don't realize is that you cut your teeth here in St. Louis in the earlier days at Wrestling at the Chase.
Oh, I owe so much to Sam Muchnick. I really I break in St. Louis, and not only that, I was born real near St. Louis. In fact, I was born in East St. Louis County. So my dad was on the road, so we didn't live there, but I have a real fondness for St. Louis, always will, because these folks are just the best. I remember when they had St. Louis TV at the show, Wrestling at the Chase. I mentioned one day, this is so hard because we don't have time to eat breakfast. I'm so hungry, and I'll bet you 20 ladies brought food the next time, and I was just, that's such decent, good people, I love that town, I sure do.
Yeah, most definitely. You've had some wonderful matches there. Who were some of your top opponents that you took on whenever you came in through St. Louis?
The very best. The Missouri title is the most prestigious belt, other than the world title, in the world. Really, every wrestler that is has achieved some notoriety has held the belt. I mean, the Briscoes, the Funks, Harley Race, Dick the Bruiser, Bruiser Brody, my brother, and I had it. It's just, that was an honor for me to have that belt. It really was. I remember I had the Missouri title and Harley had the world title, and it was like, I was really happy to have that Missouri belt.
And who did you defeat for that belt there, Kev?
I think it was Dick Murdoch.
Dick Murdoch, okay.
I believe it was. You know what? It might have been. It was either him or Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura?
Was Jesse Ventura ever champion?
I don't think so. I think it was Dick Murdoch
It must have been.
who you defeated. Yeah.
I think what I'm thinking about, I had he's a politician, right? And so I had a reporter in Dallas call me and say, hey, we need some pictures. Do you have any pictures of you wrestling Jesse Ventura? I said, oh, yeah, sure, man. So I went through my pictures and I only found one, and it was of him bending me over his knee, breaking my back, and I'm going, ah! So I can't find any. Can't find any pictures. I wouldn't want to be bending him over my knee.
Most definitely. And one of the very toughest, as you said, is Harley Race. And today you are here for the World League Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah Camp. Any stories of you going toe-to-toe with the handsome Harley Race?
Oh, yeah. And Harley is a big man. And so you wrestle a big man different than you do a small guy. Or if I'm wrestling a guy that's, say, my size and he's in really good shape and I know he's in good shape, then I'm going to get behind him. I'm going to ride him until he gets frustrated. I'm going to tease him, antagonize him until he gets tired, and then I'm going to do what I need to do. Harley was a big man that worked like a small man. I've seen Harley go on the top rope and come off with a headbutt. I hit Harley Race with my cross-body block one time and won the match. A few weeks later, we're wrestling again. I give him a turnbuckle, and when I shot him in the turnbuckle, I had to pull so hard that I turned my back on him, which is a no. You don't turn your back on your opponent ever. But I had to because it took such force to turn. And I turned like that, came back around, and he was doing a crossbody on me. He hit me with a crossbody just like mine. So even though he was a big man, he would fly. He was a flyer too. But tough, I'm talking battleship tough. That guy was something else. A great athlete. And a really, really tough competitor. And also, he'd kick your ass in the dressing room, too. And I've seen a lot of guys, you can tell, Harley's one of those guys that this isn't funny, but he won't lose a fight. He'll pull your eye out before he'll get beat. That's anybody. And I'm serious.
Kevin, recently your family was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Can you tell us about that experience and what that meant to you?
Yeah, I sure do. That was great. That was a great honor. And and especially I didn't really wrestle for WWE. You know, a few times I did, and I wrestled for WWF. You know, Vince McMahon Senior, but that was just. To me, I thought that, you know, they have a great operation up there, and glad to be a part of it.
Well, good.
I tell you, it was an honor. Not only that, but the letters I got from the people, you know, that they were completely behind me. I think there was a lot of people writing in or something, and I was honored that they do that. And then there was the big party afterwards, and I saw people that I grew up with. I mean, you know, my Stu Hart broke my father in, and so we lived with the Harts up in Calgary, you know, and so I knew all those kids, and to see them there, and Ellie, and you know, Stuart Smith, and it just really brought me back. It was I'll never forget that, and then to be in the Hall of Fame it's an honor that I can't put into words.
Well, it was great to see that the Von Erich family was honored there, Kevin. Can you tell the wrestling fans what you are up to right now?
Yeah, I'm a farmer. I live in Hawaii, in Kauai, and I grow 33 different kinds of fruit, and then my goal is to pay no man anything. What I want to do, I generate my own. I've got solar panels, so there's my electricity. I've got a water well. And I raise chickens and goats, which is what I've always wanted to do, and fruit. And I trade with my neighbors who maybe have chickens, eggs, you know, whatever, that we're eating completely healthy, organic stuff. Because in this day and age, I want, in order for my sons to be able to compete on the top level, they have to, number one, be born with the right steel. Number two, and even more important, is they have to have a work ethic that is superhuman. Pay a price that the other guy is not going to pay. And that goes right into diet, too. I don't want them eating preservatives, artificial colors, artificial flavorings. I want that food, it's something I speared or something that we killed, and, you know, there's nothing artificial in our food there. And that's, so I think they're as healthy as they can be, because that's what it's going to take to compete on the kind of level that sports entertainment has come to now.
You spoke about your sons, and I had a chance to meet them earlier this week into camp. What would be your advice not only to them, but young aspiring wrestlers as they try to reach the goal to get the stardom that you did in your prime?
Well, there's a whole lot of variables, you know, that make that come about. I was fortunate that it came naturally to me. My dad, you know, I was just, this ring was like my crib, you know. I mean, my dad would be in the office, and my brothers and I'd play in the ring all day, like my sons do. It's just, or did when they were kids. Now they're, you know, serious. My son is a #1 discus thrower in Hawaii, and in the state meet, and then also all-state wide receiver, unanimous choice. His scholarship offer from Cornell, scholarship offer from Army, Hawaii, and as a punter though, so we didn't send him. He's also a punter. He's a wide receiver and a punter, but he's a really good athlete, and so I think he's going to do well.
So the apple didn't fall too far from the tree there. Y'all had a strong background in high school sports as well. Each one of you and your brothers, didn't you?
We did. Now, you know, everyone knows I played football, but I was also I was from I had a relatively small school. I was a high hurdler, and I went to state in that, and then went to state in the high jump, and the 400 meter, I ran that. It was a shot put and discus man too. You can only compete in 5 events, and so those were my 5. I'll bet a lot of people don't know that my brother Kerry, now I'm weighing 200 and about 218 pounds when I'm jumping, so I would jump 6'6", as high as I got. But my brother weighed about 240 and was jumping 6'4", which is, you think about it, that is a hell of a lot of height. Kerry was, that takes a lot of spring in her legs. Every high jumper that I jump against was, you know, 135, 140 pounds and 6'7" or whatever. But to go at the bar and power over it like we did is, you don't see it anymore. In fact, I believe that Western roll that we used to use is illegal now. Everybody has a phosphorus flop, you know. But I love track, and I love football too. But the good thing about track is if maybe your teammates are having a bad day, you can still do all right, you know. And football, your teammates are having a bad day, well, you're gonna get your butt kicked with them, you know.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to say to your fans?
Oh, good luck to everyone. Good luck in this terrible economy. I know it's tough. Keep your chin up, you know, and things will get better. And I love every one of you guys. You the kind of things you folks say to me on the computer, I do read, and I try to answer my fan mail. But I'm so appreciative that I stopped wrestling so long ago, and they haven't forgotten me. And that's I don't know. I tried not to act like a big shot, you know. I tried to spend time with little kids, and you know, because I remember being a little kid, you know, and how much I'd admire a sports, you know, a celebrity guy, and you know, for them to just dust you off is a terrible feeling, you know. But to make them feel special, you know, ruffle their hair and hey, you can be a wrestler, buddy, you know, and they're gonna remember that for a long time. And I think that maybe that's why people still remember me, you know, because we didn't play the big shot, you know, or I didn't try to. We tried not to.
Well, I believe that you've captured the fans' hearts many years ago, and you still have them in your hands today, Kevin. So thank you so much for having us here today, and thanks to Harley Race here at WLW Wrestling Camp. We hope to see you at the matches.